Hello, my no people pleasing family. It is good to see you this evening. Hey, I've got some stuff to drop on you today. I hope y'all been having a good week so far. Um, Almost through the week, right? And I want to share with you some nuggets that I think will help you in your relationships, help you get out of some of these traps that you're in. If you just take heed to this information, it'll explain a lot of what you're experiencing with you, what you're going through and give you some momentum for change. And so today, the topic that we're going to be talking about is 5 reasons why people pleasers are attracted to narcissists. I don't know if any of you all have recognized um, your tendency to be attracted to narcissists. And narcissists, among other characteristics that they display, they're very many times arrogant. They lack empathy. They're also known to be cheaters. They're known to be emotional abusers. They're known to be liars. They don't have a tendency to be or an ability to keep their word. Um, when it comes to them sharing and being able to experience emotions in a relationship and understand your emotional needs, the narcissists aren't there. They often are users, and they a lot of times have good game. They can convince you of things that don't exist. And can make you sometimes feel like that you're stupid or crazy. So this is a little bit about narcissists. I think a lot of us are already familiar with people with narcissistic traits. Why? Because they're in your life. If you're a true people pleaser, they're right there. And a lot of times they may not show up on a job and things like that, but in your most intimate relationships, this is where they are. Okay, most intimate relationships, meaning a lot of times romantically. A lot of times these are um, your parents, and many times they are your friends, close friends. But let's talk a little bit about the reasons. Have you thought about the reasons why you are attracted to people who don't seem to appreciate uh-oh, let me get my mic so I can sound a little bit better. I always forget. Um, why you're attracted to people who don't seem to have a great appreciation for what you bring to the table. And so, number one is approval and validation. Approval and validation. Um, Many times, if you're a people pleaser, you might find yourself having a need for validation external validation. In other words, unless there are certain people to back and support what I'm doing, what I'm believing, I may fall short of really being confident that this is the right move. Even in relationships, when it's time to leave a relationship, instead of just following my gut instinct to leave, this is something that's interesting, right? If it's time to leave a relationship, you shouldn't have to consult with anybody about leaving. Okay, so is it that I don't trust myself enough to know that I'm receiving a certain level of abuse, unappreciation, a certain level of manipulation, a certain level of just straight evilness in this relationship? So why is it that I feel that I need to consult with someone else about leaving this relationship? And a lot of times, the people that we consult with, although they're good intention, they give bad advice. Again, I've repeated this again many times. We're seeking advice from people who haven't even had to experience the success that we're looking for. Okay. We're seeking advice from people who haven't had the success that we're looking for and really don't have a good opinion about it. I think this is sometimes where we go wrong. Let me stay on track. All right. So what happens is there's a need for external validation and approval in order for me to feel valued and worthy. And so this gets in the way. So why the narcissist? And what is the narcissist about? Well, narcissists, on the flip side, they often provide you the praise and admiration. They give us the attention. I've talked to so many clients that really the relationship was just about attention. Okay. Nothing else. Why do you love this man? He's there. I mean, think about it. If you're in a relationship, with the narcissist. Now, if you're in a marriage, it's too late. We have to talk on another level. You definitely need some one-on-one. Um, but if it's a situation, then we need to kind of rethink how we're approaching things with the narcissist. So a lot of times, and even if you're married to one, the praise and attention, that's based on your need for approval and validation. So that praise and attention or from that individual, because I'm lacking so much inside, I've been lacking before this person came into the picture. This is a part of the trap. And so many times they know that they can manipulate you by giving you praise, attention, approval, and validation when it is that they want something. Okay, they can do the worst things, but then they know the areas that you've been feeling weak in, and they know how to all of a sudden flip the script and start speaking sweet nothings in order to get you to be persuaded to do things that they want you to do. It's their goal to manipulate and control you so that they can get exactly what they want. Okay, this is the way the narcissist works. So they get you high and influence you to believe the euphoria. And this is the thing, a lot of times when you first, especially if you get in a dating relationship, you've got all this phase where it's the honeymoon and they're just pouring it on you. They're telling you things that you have never heard before. It's just this feeling a lot of times of being with a narcissist that can just overwhelm the soul. For a lot of you that have experienced that, you may be in relationship or have been in relationship, and so it just kind of overwhelms you in a way that it gets you addicted somewhat. Okay, that euphoria. And so what the narcissist will do a lot of times is spend a good bit of the relationship uh and you may spend a lot of your time in a relationship believing that at some point I will experience this euphoria that the relationship started with. And this is a false sense or bad direction to go in. Like I said, it can be like crack. So approval and validation. Approval and validation. All right, we better hurry up. Difficulty setting boundaries. And that's what this group is about, helping individuals to be able to establish boundaries. And so when I have a difficult time and I struggle with setting boundaries and healthy boundaries, my no's don't really mean no, do they? And we've talked about that. So how does the narcissist take advantage of that? Well, the narcissist is going to take advantage of that by pushing limits and disregarding your needs and your feelings. Okay? Because I can't set the boundary, the narcissist is okay with stepping over the boundary. They're okay with that. They don't have a filter or something that just tells them just stop, or that something that makes them feel uncomfortable about crossing that boundary. And it just doesn't click for them. It's a deficit. They're deficient of an ability to feel in that area, but yet we're expecting that they're going to respect it. The only way that they know is to manipulate and pretend at times as though they understand what it is that you need, all to just turn things around once they get what they want. So narcissists, they'll take advantage by pushing the limits, okay? And many times narcissists, to be honest, and these are the manipulators, these are the people that's taking advantage of you, can be somewhat heartless when it comes to your feelings. It's not that they're just intentionally trying to be mean or evil, but some of them are, but they just don't have that thing in them that makes them connect with what it is that you desire and need. And so a lot of times, if you're looking for that, um, you need to pray about that, right? Pray for a change for them. Um, like I said, it's, you know, really for a narcissist to change again, because they're oblivious to all these things and it's built on major insecurities that they have. The only change that I've seen that narcissists experience is when they have that come to Jesus moment, when they change their relationship with God and they start to see things God's way, and not with the woman pushing them towards that, not with the threat that I'm going to leave you, not with the threat that I'm tired of this. They do this on their own. Okay. So, this is just something that has to happen over time. And I contemplate whether I share this or not, but I've been kind of on both sides. If I was raised around not just codependents, but narcissists as well. And so I've had similar traits. My trait, according to my wife, was that, earlier on in our marriage, I just lacked empathy. And I didn't never realize that. And that's the crazy thing about if you're dating someone with narcissistic traits. I wasn't one of these that's abusive physically, or the cheater type or whatever, this and that, but I had my issues. I had my codependency issues, but then by the time that my wife met me, I had flipped and I was a bit arrogant, okay? A bit arrogant, unempathetic, not understanding anything about feelings and needs, and just a cold dude, right? Um, and so relationship with God that I had to seek on my own, because we're already married. Okay, I don't know why she married, but we're already married, and so that was something that ended up changing, and then I began to understand what empathy was, and I began to see that there was a lot of screwed up things that I was doing, and then I had the desire to want to change on my own without being prompted, and this was a thing that came from a new relationship with God, because when you going by the book, you just operate differently, and you don't have the same insecurity. See, arrogance is a cover for insecurity. Once the insecurity is gone, the arrogance leaves with it. Okay. And so this is something that you have to understand. With the narcissist, they have so many other traits and characteristics that can be overbearing, like, but anything can be changed with that relationship. It's just I haven't seen it happen a lot. And so we talk about that on another session. But what number are we on? Number three, a fear of abandonment. Fear of abandonment. So um, many times individuals that are people pleasers have a strong fear of being abandoned. Take a look, as I always mention, why is that? Why is it that I have a fear of being abandoned? Why is this fear so strong that it causes me to make irrational decisions, decisions that I know are wrong? And it's almost like I can't stop it. I don't know if you've been in situations to where you are making decisions that you feel compelled to do, and you know that your gut is telling you that this is the wrong decision to make. But because I'm so fearful of being lonely, fearful of the meaning, what that means to me to be alone, because sometimes loneliness is connected with a feeling of abandonment. Okay. Again, even when sometimes I may initiate the departure or the separation in a relationship, I may start feeling abandoned. I may start feeling alone. And then we pick back up with somebody else. So that fear of abandonment, a strong fear of abandonment, can drive individuals that are people pleasers or codependents to cling to relationships, right? Even if the relationship is unhealthy. Um, and so some of the things again that they'll say to make you fearful is make you believe and be fearful that they're going to leave. Nobody's ever going to want you. You're fat, the whole line, not feminine enough, those types of things. And so because those fears resonate, something that if we want to have the breakthrough, and I've talked about this in other videos, is identify what your fear is and what lies beneath the fear. And this is some of the stuff that we process in coaching. You need to get a coach. You need to get a counselor. Come see us. All right. And so we help you to process that and change those beliefs, right? And then we have low self-esteem. Low self-esteem is a big one. Um, if I feel really good about myself, then I'm not going to allow for individuals to come into my life and do things that don't honor me, right? So codependents often struggle with low self-esteem and low self-worth. And we get to the point that we may believe that we're not enough on my own without the things that I bring to the table. And then so somebody else starts to make me feel complete. So when I have somebody else present in my life, it helps me to feel wholeness. But it's kind of like addiction as well. It's just having a substitute, a supplement. Okay. It's a cover. Okay. And so this will keep happening in very dysfunctional ways until I understand how to uh, build and establish a sense of worth within myself. And like I said, if it's somebody who lacks empathy and it's a cover for insecurity, and then they become arrogant, when these things are resolved, those symptoms go away. Same way with people pleasing thing. When these things are resolved, then I'm no longer even attracted to the same people that I used to be attracted to, right? And then number 5, I want to say is that there is a strong need for love and affection. A strong need for love and affection. If we're in people pleasing and codependent relationships, we may experience a lack of unconditional. We may have experienced a lack of unconditional love and acceptance in our past. Again, we're getting back to the past. This came from somewhere. This was built on something. So the healing comes from the undoing of the thoughts that came along with the abandonment. If there was a father that abandoned you, a mother that abandoned you, a parent that did not make you feel whole. So what happens on the flip side with the narcissist, what he's going to do is have these fleeting moments of affection. He's going to come with the flowers. He's going to understand what your love language is without you even saying. He's really, to be honest, a lot of narcissists, they're able to be that type of guy that many women are looking for, that like women don't like to have to ask you about what it is that they need or desire or what will make them feel good. The narcissist is really good at knowing what that is. Okay. But that's about all they're good at for good, and then it's not even for good because they're using it to manipulate you, rope you in, and then set you up for failure in a relationship because they're not a lot of times just going to stick with you anyway. But they do the love bombing. They can be very romantic. Like I said, they can be bigger, larger than life figures, have all the right things to say. As a matter of fact, some narcissists, depending on the type, everybody around them, they would not believe that this person speaks to you in the demeaning way that they do. I mean, in the most gut-wrenching, demeaning way that they do. What they say means nothing. What the narcissist says means nothing. And as I mentioned in a few videos before, they will try to convince you that if you be with me, if you stay with me, all these things I will give you if you just bow down and worship me. Sounds very satanic, doesn't it? Because it comes straight from the devil. All these things I will give you if you would just submit. Don't worry about your esteem. Don't worry about God. Don't worry about your value. Don't worry about your needs. If you would give up you, turn that over to me, then I'm going to give you everything that you need. That's the goal of the narcissist. And so this is more likely, more relative to um, relationships romantically. And this may be more of what I talk about from time to time, but some of these things, a lot of it is relevant to people pleasing in general. Everybody can take from this, from what I've just said. So when we tighten up and we change out, number one, our need for approval and validation, difficulty with setting boundaries, fear of abandonment, our self-esteem issues. And then we find a balanced place, because there's nothing wrong with having a need for love and affection. But a lot of times we're seeking it all in the wrong places, and we're giving up pieces of ourselves that's hard to get back. All right. And so we're going to stop right there. This is the thing. Some of you are to the point right now that you are ready to make some serious moves to change this thing, and you're wanting to invest in yourself instead of investing in a man, investing in something for someone that you're not going to get back. It may be that time for you to invest now in yourself. And we have a coaching program that will help you. Don't hesitate to DM me personally and just say coach, and we'll look out for you. Or you can put it right here in the chat below this live, and put in there coach, and we will reach out to you. Hope to see you all again on next week. Y'all take care. Be blessed. All right. Bye-bye.